Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back with another YouTube video, and in today's video we're gonna be doing Disney Plus Day Marvel review here on the channel. Or let's talk about Disney Plus Day news pertaining to Marvel. So yeah, Disney Plus Day was a couple days ago. You guys probably gonna be seeing this Monday, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's about a couple days ago, and a bunch. There was a bunch of news about Marvel and stuff like that, and yeah, I thought it deserved its own video. I'm gonna be talking about the Marvel stuff from the Disney Plus Day, and then tomorrow I'll go over the Star Wars stuff. I'm not gonna really do anything else other than those two topics because that's really all I really care for. Uh, but yeah, Disney Plus Day it had some cool Marvel news though. I gotta say, some new stuff that was actually a pretty big surprise to me. But first, what I want to do first is kind of lay out a plan here, which is like firstly, I want to just talk about what I thought should have came up, what I was expecting, perhaps, within reason. Within reason, of course. Like obviously, I'm not gonna expect Ironheart trailer or something like that. That's obviously not gonna come out anytime soon. But within reason. Uh, then I'll just talk about what we got and then give my reaction, I guess, to the news. So, firstly, let's say what was I expecting? I wasn't expecting anything very big to be exact. Like, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything big to be getting a trailer or something like that. It's just because, uh, of course, last Disney Plus Day, which was in back in 2020, we got a whole lot of stuff announced at that time. But again, you got to remember, these MCU TV shows weren't a thing then. So that's something important to remember at the time. So that's why that felt like a big bang, uh, right off the bat. Like I'm expecting probably for the next coming like these next few years, especially. I'm not really expecting anything major at these Disney Plus days, just because. Again, this is strictly for Disney Plus Day. It's not like it's gonna be talking about I don't know, like the new Blade movie or something like that. That's not gonna happen. These are really strictly only for really uh, these are only strictly for like just announcing stuff and what's going to come to the platforms. I assume to get investors and stuff like that. Or I think Investors Days on December or something like that. I remember doing it last year. That was pretty fun though. Uh, but again, what I was expecting. Firstly, I was kind of expecting maybe to get our first looks at a few things. Specifically, Moon Knight. I was expecting hopefully to get something. I honestly I wasn't like expecting a trailer, of course, because we barely got any like set photos or anything like that. So I was expecting something to do with Moon Knight. Same with She-Hulk. I was kind of expecting that to happen. And I was a little bit on the fence about Miss Marvel. I was hoping maybe we could get a trailer or something. But then I was just like, yeah, that's not going to happen because I'm pretty sure they confirmed it was postponed to late 2022. But I mean, if it was supposed to come out in January per se, I was expecting a trailer. That's just pretty much it. I mean, I was expecting maybe an official confirmation on the Agatha Harkness series, perhaps, uh, and maybe a few announcements pertaining to other things as well. Uh, but anyways, and also we also got confirmation of the Echo series. I was kind of like, what's going on with that? I wasn't sure if they were gonna announce that this one though. That's something I wasn't completely sure. But in trailer wise, I'm not even like it's a little too early for trailers right now, just because we already know that the Hawkeye show is coming out soon. So I mean, I wasn't expecting any big trailers or anything like that. So that was one thing. I mean, I just was hoping for at least a few first looks, and we didn't manage to get that. So that was pretty cool. Uh, Firstly, let's get into what basically was announced slash confirmed slash we got our first look at. Firstly, I want to just I'll start at this. We got a first like a new look at Secret Invasion. Nothing too big, just a title change, like not a title change, but in the logo it just looks different. And we also got a picture of Nick Fury, and he's now wearing his eye patch for some reason. Uh, yeah, so that's happening. I remember that was announced last year. Uh, I'm still pretty excited for that show, to say the least. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything big from it. I think it's supposed to come out 2023. So if I was expecting something from it, it would probably be like next year's Disney Plus Day if they have one. Uh, but I mean, that was interesting to kind of see. Plus, now we got a new animated Marvel Zombies show announced, which is actually pretty cool. I'm curious to see what goes on with that. If it'll be an adaptation of the comics or anything, uh, which is pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm fairly excited for that. I mean, I really do like Marvel Zombies. I'm just curious to see what goes on with it. If it's gonna like continue the What If story or something like that. That was one thing. Then the Agatha Harkness show. Basically, it just got a title, which is now it's being called Agatha House of Harkness, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, they didn't really say much else for that. Uh, just that it's got a name now, so that's pretty cool. It's basically officially confirmed and announced, which is pretty cool. Then we got a new title change to Ironheart, or not title change, new logo change to Ironheart, which Ironheart again is supposed to come. I don't even know what's supposed to come out, but I wasn't expecting anything for it really. Just cause again, like it's a while for it to come out and stuff like that. We got a bit of a new look at I Am Groot, the animated show, which is pretty interesting. And then we got something called Spider-Man Freshman Year that was announced, and it's supposed to be an animated show, which is actually pretty interesting. I'm curious to see like what goes on with that. That's something that really curious makes me curious because of course like Spider-Man is personally one of my favorite superheroes, and I mean I like his animated shows and stuff like that. So I'm interested to kind of see what where it goes with that. Uh, yeah, and then there's Echo. That show got announced, and it's gonna be starring Al- Alkia Cox. I think I mispronounced her first name by accident. Sorry about that. Uh, and yeah, she'll be starring in that. I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be in the Hawkeye show as well. So gonna be interested to kind of see that. And that was basically confirmed. And then What If Season 2 was announced. We kind of knew that was already happening, so yeah, that's just a basic confirmation. Uh, and now to get into like the big stuff. First of all, we got our first look at Miss Marvel, which is pretty cool. I mean, that got delayed anyways to like 2022, so at first I was like, we gotta get something for Miss Marvel because it's supposed to be releasing at the end of this year. But then it got postponed, so I was just like, okay, whatever then. I guess we'll get a first look or something. So, yeah. Now, next up, X-Men, the 1997 series is actually now got a sequel of sorts in works at Disney for a 2023 release date, which is pretty awesome. I mean, that show is pretty legendary. I thought it was pretty good. I'm interested to kind of see what goes on with that in terms of the fact that they're making like a sequel, I guess, to it. It's supposed to pick up like right after the events of the last episode, so that's pretty interesting. We kind of got the rumors from that and stuff like that, like they might be doing this or whatnot. And honestly, in my honest opinion, honestly, like I'm excited, but at the same time, is like, is this like really necessary? I mean, like, it was a good show and stuff. Like, I'm happy it got a revival technically, but like, it's technically just taking away from something else that could have been happening, like a some other show that could have been newly released or something like that, and that's one thing as well. But I guess it's also just to hype up maybe for the X-Men to come in the MCU one day. So that's one thing. Now for the two big things in my opinion. First of all, we got our first look at She-Hulk, and I gotta say, pretty good. I mean, in the first look, we got our first look at She-Hulk as a whole. But we didn't see her face though. That was one thing. We also kind of got our first look at what Jennifer Walters will look like. That's pretty cool. We also saw Mark Ruffalo in it too, which is our Bruce Banner. But it was surprisingly like, I don't know if I'll do a video on this, but it was surprising to see that he was in human form, which is pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't really expecting anything much from She-Hulk, maybe like a photo or something, but I wasn't expecting something like this, honestly. But I think like She-Hulk's supposed to come out in early 2022, so it's not that long away. So yeah. And then also we got our first look at Moon Knight, which was awesome. I mean, like we actually saw as well, like Oscar Isaac was talking in the trailer. You could see from the start, you could see that Oscar Isaac, when he's talking in different ways, which is very cool for the Moon Knight character. Because if you didn't know, he basically has multiple identities and stuff. So it's interesting to kind of see that they might be tackling that in the show, which is really interesting. We saw him like beat up a bad guy and stuff like that, but we didn't see the actual suit though. That's one thing. That's one thing I've realized about these first looks is we haven't seen the actual suits, which I don't know if they're saving it for like a trailer or something of sorts. Because the way I like to look at these Disney Plus days is they're trying to preview stuff that's gonna happen in the next year before the next Disney Plus day. So of course, like not a lot of these shows are gonna be coming out before that. So I'm of course expecting that, but something like say perhaps Moon Knight, She-Hulk, or something like that, where it's supposed to release sometime around that. Uh, that's one thing I'm like thinking right off the bat here is like what's going on with that. Uh, like I wish we could have gotten maybe a suit reveal or something. That's personally like, or technically we did get a suit reveal for She-Hulk, so that's not bad. But I mean, Moon Knight. Honestly, I would have loved to maybe see like a suit reveal or something. That could have been awesome. I think that would have really ended up with a big bang, in a sense. I'm not exactly sure when Moon Knight's even supposed to come out. Actually, I remember it was supposed to be coming out start of 2022, but that could always change, of course, as we saw with Miss Marvel, for example. But I mean, the future of the MCU on Disney Plus is looking pretty good. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'm pretty fairly excited for most of these shows. Honestly, there's nothing really that really bums me out or anything. Like or I wouldn't say that because like something like I Am Groot. I don't know if I'll watch that, but I'll probably watch it. But I mean, I'm not entirely excited. For example, something like that. But I mean, yeah, I'm curious to see what goes on more. Of course, like I think they could release maybe some more stuff at like Investor Day or something, which I don't think it's affiliated with Disney Plus. Actually, that's one thing to make sure. I'm pretty sure that like that could have some MCU reveals or something like that for movies and stuff like that. I don't know if they're doing one this year. I definitely have to check. But anyways, if that does happen, it'll happen somewhere around December or something like that. But anyways, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.